Hi, hope you are doing good. My name is Hukmaram. Today we are going to start a new ReactJS series. In that we will learn functional component of ReactJS based on the new ReactJS documentation. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to create the React application using the npx. I will use npx create a React app and then application name. My application name basic app. Okay. This command will create a React application with boilerplate code. So application has been created. This particular basic app has been created. Let me switch the directory for that. I will change the directory to the basic app. Now I'm in this particular directory. So project has been created. Let's do one thing. Let's start this project. To start this particular npm project, we have to use npm start command. This will start our application. And so project is starting. So if you see a project has been started, this is the boilerplate code when we create the project using the npx create react app command. Start with our first component. Okay, so if you see we have this particular, you can say, application basic app. In that we have few folders. Like if you see, we have node modules and then public and then source. Whatever all our all code will be under this particular source folder. Okay, and basically whatever component we are creating, that will be under this source folder. And one of the boiler component created by the React, using the npx create react command. So this is the particular component we are able to see on the UI, or you can say here in this particular browser. Okay, so I'm going to edit this particular component. Basically I'm not going to focus that much in kind of styling the component, all those. I'm going to focus to give you knowledge about the ReactJS. uh, yeah. Okay, so let me do one thing. I will going to remove this particular entire thing here. And okay, and I will just replace with this particular. This is my first component. First component, and let me save this particular one. I will be able to see changes. I have removed the logo and all those, so I will remove from here as well. Import. And yeah. Okay, so if you see on UI, I can see like I have removed that one, and I just have this particular text on my screen. This is my first component. So this particular component, this is the root component. Basically app is the root component, and in that we have just a div and then that we are using. Okay, so if you see that this particular root component we are somewhere we are using in the in an index.html. That index.html is inside this particular public folder, and you see like we have this particular div, root div. That div we are referring here in this particular index.js file. So here we have react dom render method, and this that particular app component we are referring here, and under the strict mode, and you see like from this particular index.js file we are referring the index.html file, and you can see we have get element by id root, and we are getting that particular div here, this particular div. I mean we are referring this particular div inside this particular index.js file, and then we are loading this particular component inside that particular root div. Okay, so this is but app is the root component, and whatever component we are creating that we are going to put inside this particular app component. So as of now I just put this particular, you can say, text only. Okay, so let me create one folder, uh, name component. Okay, inside that particular components folder I'm just going to create my first component, and my first component name will be like first component. File name is first component dot jsx file. We can put here like dot js and dot jsx. Okay, uh, in the to create our component we will discuss about that particular jsx in upcoming videos. So basically keep in mind like we can here give like .js and .jsx. Let me start writing the first component in this particular, you can say, series. We will just uh, use functional approach for the react.js. Instead of class based component we will just create the functional component. So my component, let me create a functional component. To create the functional component, basically we need to import first of all react in our like js file from react. Okay, now what I will do, I will just write a function, like a function. I will write a function name will be like first component, and this particular component name will be always the first letter of this component name to be capital, and yeah. Okay, so let me create a functional function. Okay, and that function name will be like first component. Okay, and like each function have to return in react.js. We have to return something. I mean we have to return an html, or you can say jsx, uh, from a component. So I will return this particular like div. Okay, a div. Okay, inside div like I will just it like this is my first functional component. Okay, and then we have just written this particular component, but anyhow we have to export this component as well. Okay, to export this component we will use export default and then that component name. And component name, as I mentioned, like it will be like start with the capital letter. Okay, and if you see, like, yeah, sorry, I am missing here parenthesis here. Okay, and this particular function will return this particular data. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to use this particular component inside this my root component. Okay, in this root component basically I can put here like whatever we are returning, it should be, you can say, wrapped up into a container kind of elements. Like here I'm considering div as a container kind of elements. Okay, inside that one I'm just going to wrap up my first component. So let me export that particular first component inside my root component. In suggestion I can see this first component. So you see, like it's automatically, you can say, imported, import my function, I mean component here. Okay, and yeah, that's how I'm going to use my first component inside the root component, and this is the component which we have created. Okay, so ReactJS is components based library, and that we have used. You see, this is my first component. This is will be a output of that particular first component, I mean result of that first component which we have created. Okay, okay. That's all for this first video. Yeah, thanks for watching my video, and then please subscribe my channel.